Hello viewers, today we shall discuss at length about verb. Verb is one among the 8 words of the parts of the speech. It is a very important word in the parts of the speech, and it is also an important word in any sentence because there can be no sentence without a verb. Of course, there can be a sentence without a subject, like an imperative sentence. There can also be sentence without an object, but there can be no sentence without a verb. Therefore, verb is an integral part of any sentence. Now let us discuss what is verb and the different categories of verbs. In simple term, verb is an action word, or it is a word which tells what the subject does or what the subject is. Now, verb can be broadly categorized into 2, main verb and auxiliary verb. So today in this class, we shall discuss only about the main verb, and about the auxiliary verbs we shall discuss in my next video. So main verb are of 3, that is regular and irregular, transitive and intransitive, finite and non-finite. Now first let us discuss regular and irregular. Regular verbs, a regular verb follows a regular pattern to form the past and participle of any verb. Example, play, played, played. So the root verb play, its past is played and participle is played. So what did we do in this here? We just added ed to the root word play and we got its past and participle. Now let us look at the next example. Dance, danced, danced. So what did we do here? We just added d to the root word dance and we got danced, danced, which is the past and participle form of the verb dance. So here, what is the regular pattern that is followed? That d or ed is added to the root word to get its past and participle form of the verb. Therefore, it is a regular verb. Now let us discuss the irregular verb. Irregular verb is just the opposite of the regular, which doesn't follow the regular pattern of adding d or ed to the root verb to get its past and participle. But in irregular verb, some internal change to the spelling is made to get its past and participle form of the verb. Example, drink, drank, drunk. So the past of drink is drank and participle is drank. So what did we see here? So we can see that there is an internal change of spelling to the root word drink and we got the past and participle. Second example, read, read, read. So what do we see here? Here all the 3 words are in the same form. There is no any change to its spelling. And this also can be an irregular verb. Third example, learn, learnt, learnt. So in the third example we can see, so the last 2 forms are different than the first. So therefore any irregular verb which doesn't follow the regular pattern of adding d or ed to the root verb is irregular verb. So regular verb is also called as weak verb and irregular verb is also called a strong verb. Now let us see to the second group of the main verb, that is transitive and intransitive. Transitive verb requires an object to convey a complete thought. So transitive verb basically requires an object to give us a complete sense of the sentence. For example, she likes chocolates. Here, if we don't have the object chocolates, and if we only just say she likes, then the question arises, what does she like? So therefore it is an incomplete sentence. Therefore we should have an object to the verb, the transitive verb. Second example, Lena sent me a letter. So if we don't have, so here we have two objects. The primary object is a letter and secondary object is me. If we don't have an object, then we can say Lena sent me what? So the question arises, what? Therefore, a transitive verb requires an object to convey a complete sense. Next is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is just the opposite of transitive, that doesn't require an object. For example, the cat jumped, the baby cried. Here the verb jumped and the verb cried, they don't require an object to give us a complete sense. They themselves give us a fuller meaning. Therefore, they are intransitive verb. Now the third group, that is finite and non-finite. What is a finite verb? Finite verb shows action, position or state of the subject. For example, we are studying. Studying is the finite verb here because it tells us the action of the subject. So what the action is doing or what the subject is doing. The subject we. So what the action of the subject we is studying. Therefore, studying is the finite verb. Second example, the children are walking around the pond. Here walking is the finite verb because it tells us the action of the subject children. Therefore, both the verbs are finite verbs. Here I tell you, finite verb is an integral part of a sentence. So without a finite verb, there cannot be any sentence. There can be no sentence without a finite verb. So works of the finite verb, it tells us the action of the subject. It changes according to the number and person of the subject, and it also tells us the tense of the subject. Now let us see the non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs are three. They are infinitive, participle and gerund. Infinitive is basically like 2 plus the root form of the verb. Let us look at the example. Mona likes to walk to school. Here, to walk is the infinitive. Basically, non-finite verbs, they add extra information to the subject. So, in this sentence, likes is the finite verb, but to walk is the non-finite verb. And that is infinitive. Second example, participle. The old man needs a walking stick. Here, walking is though an ing form of the verb, but used like an adjective to the noun stick. Therefore, any ing form of the verb which is used like an adjective is a participle. So participle can also be two, that is present participle and past participle. Present participle basically appears in ing form. Now the last one, gerund. Gerund is like the ing form of the verb. It is used like a noun in a sentence. Look at the example. Walking is a good exercise. Here walking, the ing form of the verb, it is used like a noun. Therefore, it is a gerund. So therefore, infinitive, participle and gerund, these three are non-finite verbs. They don't really show the action of the subject. Rather, they add some extra information to the action of the subject. So there can be a sentence without non-finite verbs, but there can be no sentence without a finite verb. I hope so you all understood about the verbs. So if you like, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.